proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Officials in the Hanover area school district have been trying to find out why a former school board spent close to $1 million, spending that has been called improper and unnecessary. Tonight, the first in a series of public hearings will be held at the Hanover Junior Senior High School. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds takes a look at what triggered these hearings.
Taxpayers in the Hanover area pay the highest school taxes in Luzerne County. Officials say one reason is a long list of problems related to the junior-senior high school. New school board members say they and taxpayers inherited a mess.
That building and the cost of that building on an annual basis is really what's breaking the back of the taxpayer.
Audits have shown that from 1977 to 1979, over $250,000 was spent on architect designs which were never used. Over $100,000 was spent to build this school bus garage, but the school district does not own any buses to put in it. And this $11,000 greenhouse was constructed. The problem is the greenhouse doesn't get enough sunlight to work, and those are just a few points of concern. Kurt Simmons just bought a house and has children who go to the high school. He hopes the hearings will get to the bottom of the controversy.
If it can lower my taxes a little bit or give me some help with that, yeah, I'm all for it.
While all of this is going on, federal, state, and local law enforcement officials are investigating what took place here, and I'm told it's only a matter of time before someone is charged. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Hanover Township.
Officials in a Schuylkill County town are worrying about some drinking water wells running dry. In Donaldson, near Tremont, at least 24 wells have been found to be drying up or have already gone dry. Tonight, residents will be meeting to see what can be done about it. Some are blaming nearby coal companies for their water problems, but miners say they are not digging under Donaldson and are not to blame. Both sides will be at tonight's meeting. So will Newswatch 16. We'll tell you what happens tonight at 11.
Newswatch 16 continues with budget cutting in Washington and what it would mean to bus riders in northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Plus, a little later, Jerry Gartenberg on Action 16 will rescue the Boy Scouts from the Big Drip.
Burglary at the Blairs the other night, and we didn't hear about it on the 11 o'clock news. We heard it on a Bearcat scanner. The Bearcat alerted us when it happened again a few doors down. Spotted the guy. Well, Martha spotted the guy. And this time, the police caught him. Neighborhood crime. You can help protect yourself
if you know what's happening.
And one of the best ways to know is with a Bearcat scanner radio.
Now get rebates up to $35 on most unit and Bearcat scanners.
And look for these specials in our Valentine's Day circular. A 64-ounce bottle of Tide liquid laundry detergent, $2.98. Or a 64-ounce carton of Tropicana Florida orange juice, $1.48. Or a 1-pound can of Maxwell House coffee, regular, drip, electric, or automatic drip, $2.18. And a 46-ounce can of Hawaiian Punch fruit drinks, 68 cents. Be a great thinker today. Think
Pennsylvania's two U.S. senators say eliminating $800 million in mass transit subsidies would be especially harmful to our state. That money is used all over Pennsylvania to help keep city and county transportation systems running and to help keep fares down. A check by Newswatch 16 of all the authorities shows they would have to raise fares and cut down on the number of buses if the cuts went into effect.
All the funds were eliminated. Our service could be cut anywhere up to 40%. Our fares would have to go up maybe as high as 75 cents. Right now it's 50 cents. So you can see it would be a dramatic effect on our system.
Because of earlier budget cuts from Washington, the Williamsport Transit Authority had to cut service by 10% and raise fares twice to 50 cents a ride. In a different money matter, the battle is on against time. Community and business leaders are fighting a short time frame in convincing General Motors to locate a $5 billion plant in our area. A special meeting was held today, and Newswatch 16's Mark Davis was there. He's live now in our Wilkes-Barre newsroom. Mark, what happened at that meeting?
Well, Nolan and Karen, right now everybody gets together and they're talking about coordination because that's the big thing right now. Everyone wants to make sure that everything is done to make sure the GM plant and its thousands of jobs come right here. The leaders in this room probably have one of the biggest challenges of their careers before them. Convince the auto giant General Motors to build its new Saturn car plant in our region. If successful, it would mean an estimated 20,000 jobs. The convincing has to be done in the next 60 days. These are the people who will make the pitch. That may include large-scale GM promotions and special advertising. But right now it starts with something even more important.
And if we're all able to hold down our parochialism for once in our lives and realize that we're all charged with the same mandate, that is help our fellow citizens get decent jobs with decent incomes here in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Now, the 90-minute session wrapped up around 4 o'clock with the group lining up the necessary people it wants to talk to before the next meeting a week from Saturday. Now, General Motors will make its decision on which state to put the new plant in by April 1st. Then they'll decide an exact location within that state by May 1st. Tonight at 11 o'clock, you'll meet the man who's going to head that local group that you just saw that met this afternoon. I'm Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in the Wilkes-Barre Newsroom. Karen, Nolan, back to you.
Thanks, Mark. Our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark, is next with his forecast.
And boy, was it chilly last night, huh, Tom?
We broke a record last night.
Yes, sir.
But can I interest you in more snow? Yeah? Karen's not saying a thing. Sure. Well, like it or not, more is coming. I'll be right back.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the World of Earthly presents 6 of the world's leading automobile makers together at the Kingston Armory. Factory deals on over 500 new Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs, Toyotas, Volvos, Mercedes-Benz, and Hondas. Also, lowest prices of the year on hundreds of used cars, ethnic foods, and free prizes. The World of Earthly, $7 million biggest automobile show and sale ever held in the Great Northeast. 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Thursday through Monday. Sunday, 12 to 5. Kingston Armory.
Fantastic and affordable dining at the Hotel McGee in Bloomsburg. Come experience perfect cuisine.
The Boy Scouts are known all over the world for helping people in need. But a Boy Scout troop from Lackawanna County itself needed help when it ran into a problem with some tents. So the troop sent Jerry Gartenberg and Action 16 scouting around for an answer.
These members of the Greenwood Music Boy Scouts have been camping for more than 3 years in all kinds of weather. So for the guys from Troop 18, there seemed no reason for concern when it started raining during a weekend campout last April. The Scouts say they figured it was a good chance to break in their new tents. They didn't figure they'd get wet.
The floor would get you wet from the water dripping down on it. The water dripping down from the roof would hit you on the way down, too, so you were totally soaked.
The Scouts dried up, packed up, and appointed a committee to take back the tents. They bought them at a Scranton Sears store for more than $1,200. Committee Chairman Cy Barillas says Sears agreed to take back the tents if the troop paid a $200 usage fee. Otherwise, Barillas says Sears offered the troop some waterproofing for their tents.
It was outrageous. I was shocked. And I mentioned to the committee, if we paid first-class money, we got first-class merchandise. And we're not about to start waterproofing or patching them up or anything else.
The Boy Scouts and Sears were at a standstill until Troop 18 asked Action 16 for help. A Sears employee told me he couldn't find anything wrong with the tents, but if the Scouts aren't satisfied, they can have their money back. Committee member John Seff was here in Music when the Sears representative called.
He said the check will take a couple days to come in. And when he said that, I figured, well, there goes Jerry. He must have done a good job.
Well, that Sears representative told me sometimes heavy rain will cause a tent to leak, so I checked and found that about an inch of rain fell the weekend of the camping trip. Then I called the company that makes the tents the Boy Scouts used. It says in that weather, its tent should normally keep most of the rain out. Now, if you feel you've been left out in the rain with a consumer problem, write to me at Action 16. We're at Box 16 in Avoca, Pennsylvania. The zip is 18641. Karen?
Okay, thank you, Jerry.
And next we go outside, and Tom Clark's out there, and I bet he's happy he didn't have to be out there early this morning, right, Tom?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't any wind with those sub-zero temperatures this morning. We broke the record by 1 degree here in Avoca. I had 12 below at my place last night, but the Weather Watch Icicle Award of the day goes to Lopez in Sullivan County, where my weather spy, Bob Reese, phoned in 28 below. there last night. So Lopez, this is for you. Outside now, it's mostly clear in my backyard. As a matter of fact, it is perfectly clear. The temperature is hovering at 20. Humidity 45%. The wind southwest at 3. And the barometer is quite high, but now beginning to fall just a bit. High temperature this day, 24. And there is the new record for this date, 6 below zero at dawn this morning. The old record was set way back in 1918. Look at that, 43, 1 year ago today. Now, our photographer Nick Horsky was up in Skycam today, and he shows us a good 4 to 6 inches of snow on the ground there down in Northampton County, just north of Allentown, Bethlehem. They got quite a bit down there, but a beautiful day all over Pennsylvania today. Look at the latest cloud photograph. Clear skies now all over Pennsylvania, out across the Ohio Valley. But this is what we're looking at here. It's plain to see. Snowing now in Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas. Further south, we went into some freezing rain and some thunderstorms there along the Gulf Coast. Now, this storm system will be able to tap moisture not only off the Gulf of Mexico, but off the Atlantic as well. So as that warm, moist air tries to replace the cold air we have now over Pennsylvania, snow will begin here tomorrow, and it'll probably snow right on into Wednesday. But the storm is not going to stall. It'll be able to move on through, and so I don't see any crippling amounts of snow here. I don't think we'll see 8 to 12 inches of snow, but we'll see enough to shovel and plow from this storm system here. Now, my forecast coming up for tonight, well, clear most of tonight. The moon will be out in all its glory, the silvery moon. It's coming up in the east now. Not quite as cold as last night, but still frigid. Montrose, Canton, Milton, Hazleton, and West Pittston coming in at about 6, cloudy by dawn. Now, sunrise and sunset times for tomorrow, 7:11, and the sun will set at 5:23. Twilight just ending now in the backyard, so the day's indeed getting longer. 6 degrees here in Avoca tonight will not break the record. Clear, then clouding up. Snow will arrive after the morning rush hour. I don't see any problems until it could snow as early as noon tomorrow, and then maybe an inch or two on the ground for the evening rush hour tomorrow night. Snow will be kind of light tomorrow night, and then Wednesday, more snow, another inch or two. A total accumulation somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 inches of snow by Wednesday night from this oncoming storm. Partly sunny on Thursday, the risk of more snow heading into the weekend. But I can't wait till it hits 40, you know what I mean? Or 45. This is awful. I'll have an update tonight at 11 on this snow coming in.
Okay, Tom. It doesn't sound like it'll be much of a storm, but we got to watch out for it anyway, right?
It'll cause some problems.
Yeah.
I like your new pointer out there, too.
Yeah,
I like that.
Very seasonal. It broke.
Break.
Well, the Sports Watch is next with Joe Zone and the new Super 16 wrestling poll.
Plus, the largest crowd in the history of Scranton's women's basketball turns out, and it's time for Joe Zone to pay up.
Penn Furniture presents a store-wide winter clearance sale. Save now on Penn's entire inventory, from one-of-a-kind hand-picked Chinese rugs and oriental pieces to the ultimate furniture names like Drexel Heritage, Henderson, Century, Baker, and more. You'll see this beautiful Chatham Oaks dining room and our exquisite 18th century collections of dining rooms, bedrooms, or occasional pieces. Don't miss the savings during Penn Furniture's store-wide winter clearance sale in downtown Scranton.
Now you got style, fun,
light and elegant entrees like shrimp creole, beef burgundy, lasagna Florentine, all less than 300 calories.
chic, taste, grace, nice.
It's great for your image.
Karen, we have a distinguished bowler in our midst tonight.
I heard
I was
something
there
about
last
that,
night.
yeah.
Highest game of your life. You had what, 11 of 12, 10 of 12 straight strikes over 2 games.
That's true. Yes.
Wow.
He was hitting
Good job.
Want to tell them what the score was?
245, right?
Yeah. You know, I bowled with Patty Costello on Saturday, great woman, Scranton Pro, and I picked up some tips from her, and it paid off.
Good.
That'll probably be it for the year, folks. Let's talk about women's basketball. I guess all you have to do to get people to come out to a women's basketball game
is match up the two best teams in the country. This is what it looked like Saturday night. They poured into the John Long Center at the University of Scranton to see top-ranked Pitt Johnstown play the second-ranked Lady Royals. They had to expand the place. That's more than 2,800 folks, seating capacity, showed up for the game. The most ever to see a women's game at Scranton. That compares, by the way, to about 400 the average for the season. Yes, indeed, we do win, Joe Zone. The Lady Royals won the game in overtime, which guarantees them the #1 ranking this week. The crowd, the size of it, also should impress the NCAA tournament people and should get the Lady Royals the home court for the NCAA regionals. Now, back on Friday, in some fit of stupidity, I said that knowing the way people support women's basketball around here, that 1,000 fans wouldn't even show up for that basketball game. I was so sure of it, I promised that if 1,000 did come, I'd put on a Lady Royals uniform myself and play All-American Deanna Kyle in a game of one-on-one. 2,800 is more than 1,000. And so next Monday night at halftime of the men's game with East Stroudsburg at Scranton, Kyle and I will play our one-on-one game. Early Vegas line has Kyle a 12-point favorite in a game to 15. Rolling up to the line, yesterday's Winter Nationals in California. That's the drag racer of Music's Joey Amato. It's going to take him 5.5 seconds over the quarter-mile course. That's a new world's record. Joey Amato of Music, the world drag racing champion. Week number 8 of the Super 16 high school wrestling poll. And the new team in at number 16 is Shamokin. Number 15, Lake Lehman, they're now 12-1. Number 14, Nazareth at 8-2. 13th, Bald Eagle area, they're 9-1. West Scranton is our 12th ranked team. They're 11-2. Stroudsburg 8-1. Mifflinburg 11-2. Berwick is 9-2 at number 9. Number 8 is Myers. Number 7, Jersey Shore. Number 6, Tunkhannock. Number 5, Northampton. 4 is Southern Columbia. 3, Easton. 2, Northwestern. And 1, as they have been all year, Shikellamy. Several teams under consideration, including Waverly and Abington Heights. Super 16 basketball poll tonight at 11 o'clock. Still waiting for quarterback Doug Flutie to sign his name to that $7 million New Jersey contract. This morning on Good Morning America, David Hartman asked Flutie the obvious. How can the Generals afford to have the highest paid player in football sit on the bench? They are saying he is going to have to beat out Brian Sipe for that starting job.
This team is going to pay you that kind of money. They're not going to pay it to you to sit on the bench. Now, that's realistic, isn't it?
That's true, but then again, Brian Sipe's not exactly making peanuts. So either way, a high-paid quarterback is going to be sitting on the bench.
Flutie will be signing that contract soon. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot. See you at 11 o'clock. We've got Scranton and Kings basketball tonight in the basketball poll.
Okay, and Joe, you are going to wear a Lady Royals uniform, right?
Yep.
Boy, we'll probably have a big crowd there to see it.
Or to see the men's basketball game, for sure.
Can't wait for both. All right, thank you. Newswatch 16 continues with anticipation to show that will air tonight on Channel 16.
It's about homosexuality and parents finding out the truth about their son.
Right now, your Olds friends are having a special sale on the new Calais from Oldsmobile. Built at one of the world's most computerized and robotically advanced plants, its aerodynamic silhouette is bound to excite the young at heart.
Jimmy, you're missing my best parts.
What?
My front-wheel drive, electronic fuel-injected engine, rack and pinion steering.
How can I forget?
Plus my reclining front seats and...
I can't wait.
Right now, my price is $98.68, including air conditioning.
Beautiful. How about going for a spin?
Hi, I'm Tom Grudas of Grudas Optical in downtown Scranton. Let me show you some people that are as pretty as a picture. Notice how their glasses are just right for their face, and the way you look and see have a lot to do with the way you feel about yourself. We're experts in eyewear fashion at Grudas Optical, and I'd love to fit you into a pair of Grudas glasses.
You get up to half your doctor's examination back when you bring your exam receipt and buy a complete pair of eyeglasses at Tom Grudas Optical, 222 Wyoming Avenue, downtown Scranton, in the Courtyard Mall.
There really is a difference with Grudas glasses.
Finally tonight, a topic that stirs emotion and makes many people feel uncomfortable: homosexuality. Tonight at 9, ABC and WNEP TV will air the movie Consenting Adult, How a Family Deals with Homosexuality. Newswatch 16's Dan Fiorucci reports a gay group at Lehigh University says homosexuality should be openly discussed, not left in the closet. The group says that's exactly what the movie does.
got to let me be what I am.
It's a movie that deals with an emotionally charged topic, homosexuality.
Don't you care what Jeff's going through?
Homosexuality is unnatural.
And it's a movie that's drawing the attention of homosexual groups, like the one headed by Ethan Felsen of Lehigh University in Bethlehem.
And the whole coming out process it can be a very vicious one.
If the movie makes discussing homosexuality a little easier, then lesbian and gay people at Lehigh University, a newly formed group, is all for it. Group members are encouraging all students to gather at a dorm TV room to watch the film.
So that we can feed off of each other's ideas, we can learn from each other. Because as I see the movie, somebody else will not see it.
It helps, I think, the general public understand that the relationships which gays can have can be mature human relationships. They are relationships between consenting adults, as the title says.
According to the Kinsey report and other studies, between 6 and 10% of the population is gay. For this group, the hope is that tonight's movie will help the vast majority of the population that is heterosexual understand that small minority that isn't. Dan Fiorucci, Newswatch 16, Lehigh University.
And that's Newswatch 16 for this Monday.
Be sure to join us at 11 when we'll be finding out what would happen to the budgets of some of the cities and towns in our area if President Reagan's budget is approved.
Enjoy your evening.
Good night.